Well, you've decided to buy a house. That's awesome. It's exciting. But among all other questions that you have to answer, up comes the question of, do you buy a new house or do you buy a used house? In this video, we'll look at some of the pros or positives and some of the cons or negatives for buying new houses or used houses. Hey YouTubers, this is Bruce again from Homes and Life. I hope you're finding our videos on homes and life topics enjoyable, and if so, please remember to click the subscribe and thumbs up buttons down below. And thanks again to our existing subscribers. And by the way, I'm always open to new suggestions as far as topics to discuss in the homes and life area. So you're approved to purchase a home and you're ready to start looking. Do you buy a new home freshly built, or do you buy a house that is older and more used? There are definite benefits to both purchases. But first, here's some questions that as a realtor I would ask my clients. First, is the house an investment or a long-term home for you? And are you handy at fixing things when situations arise, or do you prefer to call in a repairman or a tradesman? And what kind of neighborhood works best for your family? An undeveloped neighborhood with potential to enjoy amenities somewhere off in the future, or a developed neighborhood with schools and playgrounds and parks that can be enjoyed right away? So let's look at some of the pros or positives or cons, which are negatives, things to consider when looking at houses to purchase. First, investment. Is this house an investment in which you hope to realize some financial gain? Regardless of what a new home sales representative may say, a new home does tend to be 5 to 10% overpriced. This means that it'll probably be a few years before the actual values catch up and then increase your new home value. So this can be a con or a negative for a new home purchase. Used homes tend to be more flexible on the purchase price, and there can be a number of variables that can affect that price, reasons that we don't really know, like what are the reasons for selling, or has some other situation come up where they want out quick, they want the price to be low, and you could end up getting a really good deal. There is an old real estate investment saying that says your profit is made on the purchase. So it's how well you do the purchasing. And this is a pro towards a used house purchase. And personalization. If you're buying a new house, there's two types of purchases. One is a spec home, or a house built on speculation that somebody will buy that house, and the other is a custom home, which is built to your specifications. A custom home can have quite a bit of personalization built into it, like some of the features, some of the finishing qualities, the colors, the flooring, the appliances, many different things, whereas a spec home has a bit less opportunity for personalizing, unless possibly you're negotiating while it's being built, and then you could maybe have some input. But overall, this is a pro or a positive for a new house purchase. You should also be aware that while negotiating on a new house, the price tends to be a bit rigid. There's not a lot of flexibility there because the selling price is a matter of record, and the builder wants to keep the prices somewhat similar because other people can see what they sold for. You can, however, negotiate other details into the price, such as maybe some landscaping, some fencing, different interior finish, some different blinds, some appliances, that kind of thing. Now with a used house, most often what you see is what you get. You will have to invest time or money to make changes. And this is a con or a negative towards the used house purchase. Keep in mind too that many upgrades they're actually trends or fads that will change in a few years, and that can affect it whether it's a new house or a used house. What about warranties? Well, new houses will have warranties. They'll have a builder's warranty on the house structure. Often there's a warranty on the foundation. There will be the appliance warranties. There's going to be the fixtures warranties. And this all adds up to giving a little bit of peace of mind there. So that's a pro for a new house purchase. Whereas a used house, it's mostly as is. Some purchase contracts will state that the appliances have to be in operating condition. But overall, it's as is, which can be a negative on a used home purchase. Any upgrades that may need to be done will be at an additional cost to you. Then there's the location. Most new houses will be in a new subdivision within an undeveloped neighborhood. The playgrounds, the parks, the city landscaping, they're going to take some time to mature. And your own landscaping will need to be done as well, unless it was negotiated into the purchase contract. You'll also face a good possibility of running into homeowner associations or HOAs, which will have some control on the final look of your house and of your landscaping. And they do have some fees as well. So this can be a con or a negative towards a new house purchase. Whereas used houses, they're a little bit older, they'll often have larger, more mature lots, possibly some trees, maybe established gardens, and the parks and the playgrounds and walking paths, they're going to be ready to enjoy right away. So this is a pro or positive for a used home purchase. And construction. You ever heard the saying, well, they don't build houses like they used to? Well, for the most part, that is true. They build them mostly better. Most building codes and materials nowadays have improved over the years. So a new house will meet the new codes, which will include thicker walls, better insulation, better roofing, better plumbing, better windows that even have some insulation value. So that is a pro or a positive towards purchasing a new house. Whereas the older homes were possibly built before these codes were introduced. So they could require some renovations and upgrading if modernizing and efficiency is a goal for the used house. And that's a bit of a con towards the used houses. Again, you can see that there's differing sides to this discussion with pros and cons to each side. As a buyer, you will need to determine what factors are important to you in this house purchase. A new house purchase gives peace of mind, while a used house purchase gives potential for greater financial benefit. Also, I may be a bit biased, but I suggest that whether you're buying a used house or a new house, even from the builder, you should still work with your own realtor to make sure that you have someone in your corner working for you to make sure that you're getting the best deal. So what are your thoughts? If you can come up with more reasons for buying a new house or for buying a used house, feel free to add them to the comment section down below. Meanwhile, remember, life is an adventure, and I'll talk to you again soon.